our special dear viewers, and welcome to this special edition of Africa Today, where we are going to tackle the UN General Assembly meetings taking place in New York. On behalf of President Abdel Fattah Sisi, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli chairs Egypt's delegation at the high-level international conference on the Middle East two-state solution, which will be held in New York on Monday. Also, Dr. Madbouli will participate at the opening session of the high-level week meetings at the 80th UN General Assembly. The agenda of the Prime Minister also includes delivering Egypt's speech at the high-level meeting to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Fourth World Conference on Women. While on the sidelines of his participation, Madbouli is scheduled to hold a number of bilateral meetings with leaders of friendly countries and representatives of the regional and international organizations. To shed light on the issue, indeed, with the United Kingdom also recognizing the Palestinian state yesterday, along with Canada and Australia, Portugal, and today we are expecting France and Malta to also recognize the state of Palestine. And that is ahead of the start of the UN General Assembly meetings, would be topping the talks of our discussions today with our dear guest, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, Professor of International Relations. Dr. Ezaby, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Sir, today the UN General Assembly is taking place in New York, and on behalf of President Abdel Fattah Sisi, the Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli is participating at the opening session also of the high-level week meetings at the 80th UN General Assembly. How do you see the significance of such meetings, indeed, in light of all the developments taking place on the ground, the escalation from the Israeli side on the Gaza Strip, the land incursion, as well as yesterday's recognition of the Palestinian state by the United Kingdom, by Australia, Canada, and Portugal. And today we are expecting France and also Malta and other states to follow suit. What's your take on this, sir?
Well, we can consider that this meeting as considered 18th meeting for the United Nations, and it's a historical meeting because many countries, especially United Kingdom and Australia and Canada, make to confess by the Palestinian country. So it's very important for all the world, this meeting. We can consider it also a historical time for the Palestinian issue by France and Spain, Malta and Portugal, many countries. After what happened, many slaughters happened by the Israel and Gaza, and the isolation of Israel by international world, especially European countries who isolated Israel. We saw that what the Prime Minister of Spain said, that he will make many steps to make cancellation for agreement with between Spain and Israel.
Yes.
And all of that comes after a great effort by President Fattah Sisi and Minister Badr Abdel Ati in their meetings with the Prime Ministers of European countries and the Presidents and Princes of European countries. It started with Macron visit Egypt and what the negotiations happened between President Abdel Fattah Sisi and Emmanuel Macron. After this meeting, Emmanuel Macron announced that he will confess by the Palestinian country. He will recognize it. And in this meeting, although Donald Trump refused Mahmoud Abbas to attend this meeting and reject and refused to give him a visa to the United States, the United Nations announced that President Mahmoud Abbas will pay his speech by video conference.
Yes.
Although Trump rejects for this. So it means that all countries in the United Nations want to put an end to the slaughters made by Israel towards people in Gaza and West Bank. So, as I said, it's a very historical moment for Palestinian issue and for all the world in this part.
Yes. Sir, this move yesterday by the United Kingdom, by Australia, by Canada, Portugal, and today other states would follow suit as well. On the ground, of course, symbolically, it has a great meaning and great support for Palestine. But on the ground, what technically will happen after this recognition, and what more should be done in order to actually help solve the Palestinian crisis on the ground?
Well, although we can say that 151 countries recognize of the Palestinians, but the United States still insists to use veto and Security Council to prevent Palestinians to be a partner in Security Council. Many steps the United States tried to prevent to that happen. After all countries, especially United Kingdom and France and Australia and Canada, recognition of Palestine, we saw the speech of Benjamin Netanyahu, who said that we will put our hand on the West Bank and he will negotiate with Donald Trump to put his hand on the bank of Jordan Nile and make many slaughters after this confession, especially yesterday and today morning. So Benjamin Netanyahu, we can say that he kicked the international law and didn't want to confess that he is defeated by the international law and European countries, by the Egyptian efforts by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Minister Badr Abdel-Ati.
Of course.
So we will see a conflict between the European countries and Israel next day, especially some speech said that Saudi Arabia thinks to prevent the Israeli plan to cross their borders. Also, many countries will make some steps to cancel any agreements with Israel these days.
Yes. Also, Dr. Ezaby, on behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Prime Minister Dr. Madbouli is chairing Egypt's delegation at the high-level international conference on the Middle East two-state solution, which will be held also tonight in New York or later in the day. The significance of such a meeting for the two-state solution, which was mainly sponsored by Saudi Arabia and France. What the significance of hosting such a meeting, and what do you expect to be the outcome from this meeting?
Well, we can say about the choose of a place for this meeting. They choose the United States to make the two-country solution meeting. So this place means that we refuse any steps by Donald Trump to put his hand on Gaza. We refuse any try from Israel to integrate Palestinian people. We know all people, all countries know that the United States who helps Benjamin Netanyahu to do his slaughters, to do everything he wants. So Saudi Arabia and France too, to to make this conference on the American land as a significant to they refuse any speech by Donald Trump, any decisions by Donald Trump to help Benjamin Netanyahu and help Israel, and the significance of participant of Dr. Mustafa Madbouli instead of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, especially that Egypt make a great effort before this time of meeting was held, especially the meetings with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the last meeting with the King of Spain, before that with Macron, with the Prime Minister of Spain. Many meetings were held by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Dr. Badr Abdel Ati to arrive to this moment that many European countries recognition of Palestinian country.
Yes. So I will take it from here. Many European countries actually did recognize the Palestinian state, but on the other hand, many others did not follow suit, like Italy, which said that this move could be counterproductive, and Germany said it could undermine the efforts to reach a negotiated two-state solution with Israel. From your point of view, why these countries did not recognize the Palestinian state, and how that could be reflected negatively on, of course, on finding a solution for the crisis, which is spiraling to a real dramatic level. And of course we are seeing the famine in Gaza and the very deteriorating humanitarian situation on the ground as well.
Well, by putting our fight on these countries, we will see that these countries may have big relations between it and Israel. If we see Ethiopia as an example, who refused this statement or recognition of Palestinian countries, we know that Israel and Ethiopia, especially about the pleasure or migrate from Ethiopia to participate in the war on Gaza, agreed relations between Ethiopia and Israel. So the countries who refuse to recognition of Palestinian countries have a great relations between them and Israel. We can say also that their policies leaded by Israel point of view. So how many countries didn't want to recognition of Palestinian countries? It's a very little number of countries, but as I said, their policy led by Israel's point of view.
Yes. And
they can't make any decisions without the agreement of Israel, so we can neglect them as a country.
Yes. Sir, again, the United States administration has warned of possible consequences for those who are taking measures against Israel, including against France. That was President Emmanuel Macron is actually hosting the New York summit. Again, we have seen the veto by the United States. We have seen the great support and the continuous support from the American administration to the Israeli side. How we can find actually a real solution on the ground for the crisis with this continuous support by the United States to its ally Israel?
Well, we can say that European countries start to take attention to their countries only, starts to take off the shirt of American policy. So we saw the German Prime Minister who said that European countries must depend on themselves to defend their country. We must put billions of euros to make our army. So there is a start of a big gap between European countries and the United States. European countries saw that what happened in Gaza is a slaughter, massacre, and the United States supports these massacres by Israel. The European countries would want to put an end to this massacre in Gaza, but the United States, as I said before, that they want Gaza as a land to make the project of Donald Trump as a Middle East Rivera. So, a great gap now between European countries and Arab countries and the United States. So, I think these next days, Israel and the United States will be isolated from the European countries and Middle East countries, and a great change will happen in the Middle East next day after this Palestinian revolution.
Yes. Finally, sir, to wrap up the story here, what could be actually on the ground the solution for this very alarming crisis in the Gaza Strip, with the Israeli side continuing its aggression against the people in the Gaza Strip, and with all the recognition of the European countries for the Palestinian state, and with all the meetings taking place, yet we are seeing an increase of the aggression from the Israeli side against the civilians in Palestine?
I think these countries, these European countries who can boycott the relation between them and Israel, especially economical, try make pressure on Israel to cease fire next days. All countries announce it clearly that they refuse any kind of immigration for Palestinian people from their countries. Next days will happen many situations by European countries and Egypt and many Arab countries towards Israel. I think Israel, at the end, I think Netanyahu will not be exit next days because of the pressure by the interior Israel people. Especially, he didn't want, he used Hannibal protocol to kill their his soldiers with Hamas, and the interior people in Israel will put a pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to leave his position, and after that, many situations will be changed.
Indeed, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, Professor of International Relations. Always a pleasure to listen to your precious inputs. Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, yesterday, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Portugal did recognize the state of Palestine. And today, we are expecting France to follow suit and take this very important step and recognizing the Palestinian state. More details in the following story. The two-state solution conference will be held in New York on Monday, where France and Saudi Arabia will lead the call for more recognitions of the Palestinian state in the Middle East. The high-level international conference for the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine and the implementation of the two-state solution comes a day following a rush by the governments of Britain, Canada, Australia and Portugal in symbolically endorsing Palestinian statehood. French President Emmanuel Macron has indicated France will follow suit on Monday as he prepares to host the meeting with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Macron said the move towards a Palestinian state would help isolate Hamas Palestinian group, adding that he would make the release of hostages a precondition of opening an embassy to the state. While more than 140 world leaders will descend on New York this week for the annual United Nations General Assembly Summit, Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian president, will not attend in person after Washington denied him a visa. The denial earned a rebuke from the General Assembly, which voted 145 to 5 to exceptionally allow Abbas to speak via video link. Some diplomats fear Israeli reprisals over the Western rush to recognize a Palestinian state, while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterated his claim that there would be no Palestinian state, vowing to accelerate the creation of new settlements. Washington has also repeatedly rejected Abbas' Palestinian Authority as a partner for peace. The International Crisis Group's Israel-Palestine Project Director, Max Rodenbeck, said unless backed up by concrete measures, recognizing Palestine as a state risks becoming a distraction from the reality, which is an accelerating reassurance of Palestinian life in their homeland. Our dear viewer, that would bring us to the end of our special coverage for the UN General Assembly meetings taking place in New York, as well as the latest developments concerning the recognition of the Palestinian state by the United Kingdom, by Australia, Canada, Portugal, and yet today we'll witness more recognition by many states like France and Malta. Also, the Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, is attending participating and attending the two-state solution conference in New York, along with the General Assembly meetings as well in New York. Our dear viewers, many thanks for watching.